Well, hello, everybody. Happy Thursday night. I'm Tunap, and I am here with my dear friend, Dr. Michael Gross. Say hi, Michael.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. That's great.
Thank you so much for taking your time. We do this every Thursday night at 7 o'clock, and this time we're going to do it a little bit differently because we talk a lot about Michael's accomplishments and all the things that he does. But speaking from my own personal experience, he is the amazing gentleman who literally woke up my soul over 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago now, Michael. And you have done so much to transform my life and turn me into a more ever growing, more perfect person. Uh, it's amazing how, when you start looking at things with a totally different perspective, when you start realizing that it is, like you say, what you think you create, what you create, you experience. That's what you tell me. And now that we're actually at a point where there's so much going on in the world, we really, really, really need to be mindful of our thoughts. So, on that note, Michael has selected this beautiful topic to talk about and share this with you. And I really think Michael is he's the author of the Spiritual Primer. He's a transformational coach. He has a plethora of experience. He's been doing spiritual work now for over 35 years, right, Michael?
Yes.
Right. And at the end of this, if you would take a few minutes to also share a little bit about the nonprofit that you've formed, because I think people need to know that as well. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put all his contact information in the comments so that you can connect with him. But truly, 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 Michael is a plethora of wisdom. And I want to turn the floor over to you so that you can share with everybody who's here the topic that you've selected today, which is understanding how you create your own life. I didn't know that until you woke up my soul. Bless you, Michael. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. Well, thank you, everyone, for joining us. I'm so happy you have the opportunity to join us, or you're watching what I call the replay or repeat. I'm just adjusting my mic here. And what I wanted to really address with all of us is there's an energy on this planet, and the energy of this planet has to do with responsibility. In other words, are you responsible for what you've created in your life? And I know some of you are thinking, well, I didn't create going bankrupt or having 400 marriages or losing 2,700 jobs or whatever. But actually you did. And it's like, wait a minute, don't point your finger at me. I'm not pointing a button at you. I wanted you to understand why you created all these things in your life. And instead of looking at it as being terrible, horrible, whatever, really is very positive. And you're probably wondering, how can it be positive that I had all these experiences in my life? Well, just think, what did you learn from these experiences? What'd you learn? You know, when you first started to roller skate, ice skate, ride a bike, or whatever you did, you fell, you tripped, whatever you did, but you got up and did it over and over again. And finally, wow, I won. Or you're playing volleyball or tennis or whatever your sport or baseball, basketball, whatever it is, you're learning. Each time you did it, you got better and better and better at it. Well, this is what's happening in your life. Each time in your life, you get better and better and better. So really, I try to look at things with a little bit of humor. I try to look at life with humor. And I thought I'd share this little tidbit with you. Years ago, I was in a nursing home business, and we used to have our annual Christmas party. And so the night cook wanted to be the bartender. And I said, sure. And so she would do two things. I would hear her laughing. And I go, oh, what's so funny? She, when I get angry at something or so on, I laugh so that I don't remain angry. She says, I'm having a ball anyway. Well, by the end of the night, she was drunk because she would taste everybody's drink just a sip. Well, when you're serving 100, 150 drinks, yeah, you would get a little tipsy. And it was a riot because most of the people knew her. Thank God she lived about 100 feet away from the nursing home or less. So we would get her home. But she had a ball. She loved it. She was wonderful. And she was just telling me about all the joy and happiness in her life. And one time, her husband had died, And so I guess she's been alone for about 25 years. She said, "You got to come into my bedroom." And I said, "Okay." And on the ceiling in her bedroom, in this iridescent kind of dust, he had painted the moon at nighttime and the stars, the little rocket ship. And when the moon would come out and the window was, or the blinds were open, she would look up there and just have beautiful memories of her husband. And I went, "Oh my God, just touched my heart." And it's so beautiful. You see, because in her heart, she created, even though it was a loss, beautiful, wonderful memories. So she went to sleep, the ceiling would light up. And then when she awoken, she would look at the ceiling again. And it just brought her great memories. So what she created in her life, instead of saying, "Oh, I miss my husband, I'm so alone, la, 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 la," she just focused on the beautiful, wonderful things in her life. And it taught me a great lesson. But I wanted to share that with you because everything in our life helps empower us. We learn from our life. And it seems we learn more from, let's say, not failures, not fear, but we learn more how to overcome the blocks in our life or challenges in our life because we learn more. And years ago, when I was in marketing sales, I would say, "Don't tell me what I'm doing right because I know what I'm doing right because I'm successful. Tell me what I'm not doing right so I can know how to become more successful." And I would like you to focus on this one important thought, and that is your energy, your frequency, your vibration. You are creating your life by your thoughts and by your feelings and your emotions. And everything has energy. Everything has energy. And if we look about electrical energy, right? Electricity you can cook with, heat with. You heard me say this before. You can kill, you can cause a fire. So, how are you using the energy of your thoughts? How are you creating your life? Well, if you look back on your life, you will say you'll focus on many of the challenges or fears or failures. I like the word challenges. So you'll look at that. This didn't work, that didn't work, blah, 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 blah. And if you turn around and say, "Wait a minute, up to the current age you are, let's say 40, we'll pick a number. Do you think you had 39.9 years of challenges, failure, or bad things? Do you really think you did? Of course you didn't. What does it represent? And you know what? It represents anywhere from 3 to 5%. There are some exceptions to the rules, but 99%, 98%, 3 to 5%. Well, that's really minuscule. But as a human, we focus on the blocks, the anger, the frustration, failures, if you will, or fears. Well, there's no such thing as failure because you learn what worked and didn't work. And fear is false evidence appearing real, which is you learn something new. I'm always learning something new. Think about when you cook something. So let's say you're making a pot roast. Just say that. You never season it the same way twice. You may add more salt, more pepper, more potatoes, carrots, whatever you're adding. Never identical. Or if you're making a bread, right? And you're following a recipe, but you always deviate a little bit. And it always turns out to go taste well. Or you'll say, "Well, should have maybe earned, or I should say earned, I should have added more salt." Another person, "No, it's perfect the way it is." See, you're judging yourself. That's what you're judging. So when I cook and I use as little salt as possible, and I say, "Hey, everybody, listen, I always add a little bit of salt and pepper, but it's on the table, add some more." So let's say I have 8 people over. 2 will add more salt and pepper. The others think it's great. Well, that's great. See, they thought it was perfect. "Oh no, there's 2 people that added more. I must have screwed up. I didn't add enough." No, they may like more salt than the average bear. So simple. But if you understand that, it's perfect. But there's always someone in your life that will always make some kind of judgment, and you will take it personally. Why do they make the judgment? Because they think they're more of an expert and better than everybody else. And that's the way they feed their ego, whether consciously or subconsciously. And I remember when I wrote my book and the 12 spiritual laws, and my author, not my author, but my coach, book coach, I'll give him a plug, Patrick. So Patrick Snow, great book coach. And he said, Michael, there's always going to be somebody that will always criticize you, find something wrong. And did you know that every book that's published, whether it's the publisher, the printer, or you, there's always a mistake, always will be. Oh, okay. So I had an editor and was hoping he was perfect. Someone found that I should have put a semicolon where I put a comma. Like, okay, but what'd you think of the book? Well, you didn't put this or that. And you should have put an and but. Fine. How did you like the book? No, they were just interesting and criticizing, showing they were superior and knew more. And as my book coach Patrick Snow said, it's because they are really jealous. They could have written a book as well. Then you always meet the person. I've been working on this book for 20 years. Like, really? Like, why don't you get it out? So they wanted the book to be perfect. But as he explains to me, it's perfect what you're doing right now. But there'll be always something you can add, and you can write, the new improved edition, the second edition, or add something new. And he was right. But look at your life. Everything you've done is perfect because you learned something. And your belief at age 12, 14, 20, 30, 35, most of it, if not all of it, has changed at age 40 or change again at age 50. Because why? You're learning about life. You're learning about finding joy and happiness. You're learning about what makes you happy. And if you don't believe it, all you're interested in really is doing things that make you happy. You go to a restaurant. Isn't it a great restaurant? No, it's too expensive. The food was wrong. And you go, all the wind is out of my sails. Well, when you go out to dinner, someone wants to go to dinner, you may go to the dinner and the restaurant, they think it's the greatest thing since sliced toast. Well, you may think it's average. What you say, it's really, really good. Thank you. You compliment them. Of course, their intent was to make you happy or joyous. What I say about making you happy is if you're not happy, you can't find joy. If you can't find beauty and happiness in your life, everything around you, by the law of attraction, what you think you create, what you create, you experience, you're going to recreate it over and over and over again. More importantly, you're going to make everybody unhappy around you. So when a person is happy and proud, don't try to be an expert. Just think they're trying their best to please you and they're proud of what they've done. How do you like it? This is really good. I appreciate it. All the love and energy you put into it. Now, maybe you didn't enjoy it. As long as you're still alive the next day, you're okay. You didn't fall or you're in the hospital. But our tastes are different. But that's what's exciting about life. Our tastes, our feeling, our emotions about life are always changing based upon our belief system, based upon new experiences, based upon our thoughts. And that's what's so important. And I would like you to spend a moment to realize everything in your life is an experience to empower you to enjoy your life and find new happiness. But then we always get the martyr. We're going to sacrifice ourselves to make them happy. And then you have the martyr. And you walk away. And 9 people say something great. And the 10th, you'll always remember the 10th criticism. Why? Because you're trying to please everybody. The only one you can please is yourself. That's all you can please. And that's perfect. And once you please yourself and make yourself happy. Now, that's not to say there's someone they like and you want to do something to make them feel happy. You do that, you're not doing it to make them happy. You're really doing it to make yourself feel good about yourself. So if this person loves roses and you give them a dozen roses on their birthday or whatever the holiday is, like, oh, wow, it's my favorite. I'm so happy to receive it. You feel good. Not so much that they're happy, but you feel good you did something that makes you feel happy for them. Go ahead to you.
So let me understand, Michael, then what you're talking about is that we're exchanging an energy, right?
Yes.
It's our personal energy. It's in our words, it's in our actions, and it's in our emotion. So
Correct.
my question then is when we face the chaos, let's just chat to really quick on the chaos on the planet. We are only in control of our own actions and reactions, but how do we handle all the chaos that's going on around us, like at work or at the store or the crazy traffic flow? How do we do that and not deplete our positive energies?
Well, first of all, that's good. You can give them the Boston bird, as we call it, which is the finger. You can say some choice words, you dirty sassafrats, or you can cut them off in traffic or do all those things. And that's great. You're going to feel better, but you're still going to be angry because you really haven't understood it. So 99% of the time, not 100%, because I'm human, they cut me off in traffic or do something. I realize, gee, that person's in a hurry and they're not really thinking. They're only thinking about getting to work on time or getting through traffic. They must be in a hurry or upset or frustrated. What are they doing? They're running away to accomplish something. So when a person's angry at life, they're running away from their issues at life because they can't be mad at you unless they have an issue with that certain subject. So, for example, if you disagree with them politically, because that's what's going on, they're mad at you, they're running away from looking at all sides of the issue so they can really make an informed decision whether this party, this person, this is right or that's right. Problem is we're all looking at this time, well, almost all, to be stroked. We're looking to be stroked. We're looking to be acknowledged. And why are you looking to be acknowledged? Because you don't believe in yourself. Well, what does that mean? No self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem. All that belief in yourself. You are creating your life physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and energetically by your belief system. And most of the time we haven't looked at it. Well, what do you believe? This will never work, or that's never going to work, or I'm stuck, or whatever. And then I always hear, well, God's punished me, God's this and that. Everyone stop. God, or as I call the true source, as we have learned, is love, unconditional love. So why would a loving energy, an entity, want to punish you or create pain? Why? And the answer is because somewhere in your belief system, because you see, by the age of 7, our life is pretty much, or our belief system is pretty much set. Put in your mind some belief system that you're being punished. So you know what? You're going to create chaos because that's your belief system. Is it the true source? It's you. Let me narrow it down. You're narrowing it down to, I got a 4-leaf clover, or this is my lucky rabbit's foot. It's going to be a lucky day, and you have a great day and lucky. Is it the rabbit's foot? Is it the 4-leaf clover? Or is it your belief that it's going to be created? Think about that. It's your belief. And you know the story, someone said, I can't go skiing or skating. I'm going to break a leg or injure myself. See, I told you so, I did. It's your belief. It's your belief that you're unworthy. Or it's your belief you learn from the family that you'll never be successful or do anything right. It's your belief. Everything is your belief. You're creating your life by your belief. And then we go, yes, but, yes, but, yes, but, yes, but. And I remember I was teaching the laws and how to manifest. And one of my students were saying, well, I believe it's going to happen, but it hasn't happened. She said it 4 times. I said, stop. You're creating a block. No, I'm not. I really believe it's going to happen, but it hasn't happened. Listen to your words. Yeah, well, my words are right. No, you believe it's going to happen, but you're putting up a block because it hasn't happened. Subconsciously, why hasn't it happened? Because you don't believe it's going to happen. So take a moment at your life. Everything that happened, positive and negative. I would like you to meditate on it over the next couple of days. Think about, okay, this is the challenge, this and this and this. What am I to learn from it? Then look at all the things you created: love, joy, relationships, yada, yada, yada. Everything you created by your beliefs. So let's see, if I create a belief that's a challenge and I express a belief that brought joy, what should my thinking be? How about thinking about things that bring you joy and happiness? And the key is just say, when the time comes, it'll be there. That's it.
So, Michael,
Yes.
why is it so hard, or not hard, but why is it so challenging for us? We understand what you're explaining. Why is it so challenging to rewire our thinking?
Well, that's a good question. So why is it? So I'm not talking about you to you, but you, the person, has had 10, 20, 30, or 40 years of belief. And it's reinforced, 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 reinforced. So instead of one layer, you got 1,000 layers or whatever you have. Now you have to dispel those layers, remove those layers. And what we have to understand is what the mind can conceive, the body will believe. However, we're always comparing the past with the present. And you've got all these layers of past belief systems. So it's hard to make a change. And by me saying it's hard, I've already put up another challenge, haven't I? I made it hard. So what you need to say is, you know what? I believe I'm going to find the answer to it and change it right now. Or I'm going to understand it, or I'm now understanding it, and I'm changing it. And you need to ask yourself, why did you adopt this belief system? My mom said, my dad, my church, my friends, my schools, or whatever. And we all understand underachievers and overachievers, or late bloomers. And I was reading a story about a man, young boy, and he was not doing well in school and flunking and so on. And so his mother said, you can do well, and I believe in you, even though you're struggling. It's just a block. You're going to overcome it. And she kept saying that, and he wasn't doing well. And of course, he wanted to go to college, so he took the SATs to go to college. Well, let's say the perfect score was 800. I think it's 800. And he got 798. And they said, oh my gosh, you're a genius. And he said, wow, I am. So he went to school. After the first year, got a scholarship, did all these things, started new businesses, became a millionaire. Everything he did was perfect. True story. And then 10 years, 15 years later, they found him and said, we apologize. We gave you the wrong SAT scores. Yours was just a 650 instead of a 798. But look what happened. He believed he was a genius. You believe that you can do anything. My mantra, you are unlimited, right? What you think you create, which creates your experience. Are you a slave of your fears or master of your life? Whatever. If you believe anything, you can turn your world around. Well, you go, Michael, but I got all these years of disbelief or challenges. Yeah. So how did it come in? Repetitive thinking. You can't, you can't, you can't, you can't, you can't, so on and so forth. I'm not. So you say, I am unlimited, I am limited, I'm limited. 20, 30, 40 times a day, 100 times a day. And you know what happens? It becomes part of your belief system, part of your energy. And remember, I was much younger and I had a girlfriend and we broke up and I was so heartbroken. And somebody telling me I bless and release Jane Doe with love. And I did it 200-300 times a day. And then finally, the fourth day, I felt a weight lifted off. It's like I didn't feel that way anymore. I said, why was she in my life? I was learning to learn about love, what was good about life and what wasn't good about life. And I learned a great lesson, and I thanked her. I thanked her soul. But you see how we create things in our life? How do we uncreate? By repeating something positive, positive, over and over and over and over again till you get bored. And then you do it another more 100 times or 1,000. And then you feel a change and you watch your life changing. You see, everything is energy. Energy attracts thought. Thought creates your belief system, and your belief system creates chaos or love or joy and happy in your life. So as we're coming up in the United States to election time or any politics, just believe that you can see the real truth, not what somebody is telling you or their belief system, because you're adopting their belief system, but what's your belief system? And you'll be able to discern if you're voting who will be the best person. But more importantly, how are you going to run your life and live your life no matter what happens politically? And then you change. And it's relationships, your business, and everything. Ask to become unlimited. Ask to find joy and happiness in your life. Saying, I am now joy and happiness. I am now unlimited. Just repeat it and realize that you are the master of your life. So I want to thank all of you. I know we're running running short on time, but I wanted to address a couple of other things. And the first thing I'd like to address is that I'm offering all of you, new listeners, that I offer a 30-minute complimentary session. And all you have to do is dial in the telephone number. And I'm old school, somebody said. So leave a message and then leave me a text message. Don't text me. Leave me a message, and then on my phone number, leave me a text message, and I will get back to you. Not, it may take a day or two, but I will get back to you, number one. Number two, complimentary session. I'm not going to try to sell you anything. I'm just going to tell you answer your questions, give you an opportunity. If you're interested, fine. Not, let's be friends and move on. That's perfect. The next thing that I want to talk about is that I have a nonprofit that I founded, the International Institute of Self-Empowerment. All right, it's just what it is. And I realized we'd have 12 arms. And the first arm is working with beautiful women, children, and men. And most of the adults, children and men, helping them and teaching them to become entrepreneurs so they can have time for their family, time to enjoy life and be happy. And the director of that division is Tio Knapp, who is just an amazing woman. She wrote a book, Healing the Holes in Your Soul, and she's a survivor of abuse. She's really an expert about it. So thank you for doing that. One other thought, and that is that every Tuesday evening from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., it's called Soul Awakening. It's not on freeconferencecall.com. So be in your pajamas or whatever you're going to be in. I won't know. You can ask any question you so desire. And then I deliver a 10-minute motivational message. In order to access this, all you need to do is dial this number.
You dial 202-926-1059 and the access code, Michael?
125446 #.
One more time on that number. It's also in the comments, okay? It's 202-926-1059 and the access code, Michael?
125446 #. So please join us using the same telephone number, the same code. The second Saturday of every month, I do what is called the Mass Consciousness Healing. And it starts at 9:55 a.m. Pacific time to 11:01 Pacific time. And what it is I talk for 4 or 5 minutes. We just talk, get to know each other, joke around, and then we go into a meditation, in which we become a vehicle to bring through the true source of unconditional love and spread it out through the world. Well, permeate your body. What do you think you're going to feel? And then you're making a change. Of course, goodness knows, We need to make a change in this planet. It'll be the most wonderful experience. And 3 or 4 minutes before 11:01, I play a little music. I thank you all, and you'll have an experience that'll change your life. And hopefully, it'll become addictive so that you want to feel the love, but addicted to changing this planet into unconditional love, like Jesus, Buddha, and many other avatars attempted to do. To access that information, repeat it again.
That number is also 202-926-1059, and the access code, Michael?
125446 #. And it's the same number as before. So please take advantage, spread it to your friends. We have to make a difference. Keyword is have to, because we are the solution and we now are creating the difference. So very important. And then what I call the repeater replays. So on the Tuesday evening, when you call in and I leave a 10-minute message, there are 393 or 4 messages. And you're stuck in traffic or you're angry or upset. T is going to give you a number to call and choose a number. Well, in the beginning, as I said, I forgot to label them. And True Source said, no, you don't. Well, why? Do you want to 393 labels or explanations? Nope. So tell everybody, let their inner guidance choose. So you may choose number 302. And I get a phone call. Michael, that's just the one I needed to listen to. Take advantage of it. What's your cost? 10 minutes time. And if it changes your life and you feel better, it's cheap. What an investment. And the price is free. To you, would you give them that number?
I'd love to. I highly recommend that everybody join you on Tuesday nights to hear those messages live, because your time is precious and everything is so priceless that you offer us. For the recording numbers, though, it's 434-300-4170. And Michael, the code?
The access code is 125446 #. So everyone,
I'll give
please.
that number one more time, okay?
Sure.
It's 434-300-4170. And the access code, Michael?
125446 #. So I'd like everybody to understand one thing. Usually at this point, we talk about our books, but I ran into my other room, into my other office, because my computer wasn't working, my laptop's on my desktop. So I want to apologize, but to you, hold up that book, because that book is so important. It's called Healing the Holes in Your Soul. It's all about a woman who went through the trials and tribulations of life to learn about self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem. And like the mythological bird, the phoenix arising from the ashes. This is an inspiring book. It's beautiful, it's empowering, and it's something all of us should and need to read. It's very, very empowering. Aha.
However, I highly recommend Dr. Michael Gross wrote the foreword in my book, okay? But I highly, highly, highly recommend that everybody start with this wonderful book right here in my hands. It's the Spiritual Primer. It's his 2nd edition. It's filled with such wonderful golden nuggets. It is life-changing. And the best way to get it is to contact either Michael or me. The contact information is, you can send us a message on Facebook or however you choose to do it. Everything's in the contact information, but this is the only way you're going to get a signed copy from Dr. Michael Gross. And it's well worth the read, because if it wasn't for this book and this wonderful gentleman sitting in my virtual screen, I wouldn't have written my own book, and I certainly would not have experienced the amazing feelings and the experiences that have happened from the moment he woke up my soul. He is truly, truly a gift from the universe to all of us people. He has so much to offer, so much wisdom, so much insight. And if you've ever struggled with low self-worth, if you struggled with anxiety, if you struggled with any kind of feelings of inadequacy or feeling lost and not sure what to do with your life, if you're feeling like there's something missing in your life, that's how I felt when I met him. And he changed everything for me. It was like the weight of the world finally came off my shoulders. And I am truly blessed and honored to be part of your nonprofit, Michael. I'm blessed and honored to have you in my life. And I really highly encourage everybody to take that moment, reach out to Michael because he offers that complimentary consultation. He has so much to offer all of us. And I just wanted to let you know that it started with this book, and I am so glad I called you when I did. Bless you, Michael, for your time and your love.
Thank you. And thank everyone for joining us. Please share this information because my mission and goal is to help all of you to reconnect with the true source and realize you are the solution and you can make a difference and bring back the proverbial Garden of Eden, which is unconditional love, because you are unlimited. Thank you, everyone. Namaste.
Namaste.
We love you. Take care.
We love you. Thank you, Michael.